Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for March 22nd, 2020, with your host, Beefbreaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
I'm not sure how best to describe these batch of 4 episodes. Besides, I maybe should have put the 5th episode we are watching in a group here instead of later.
Yeah.
Oops.
Possibly
What I get.
Should have took a somewhat glance at it.
I should have rechecked when fucking 2-parters were.
Because apparently we get a weird, odd split kind of deal that I'm still not 100% following. Like, I can't really feel like why we jumped off hard right here.
Yeah. Because yeah, this first episode, this doesn't feel like a one episode. This feels like it should have been 2 episodes. Why is this not 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, we are covering episodes 33 through 36 of Ghost this week. Yay! It's time for the Mugen debut. It's time for the Final Form debut.
You mean the Mugen debuts?
Yeah, the debuts. Fuck's sakes. Which I completely forgot about when Charizard was asking me about Final Form stuff earlier. It's like, oh yeah, we were covering the Final Form this week.
Yeah, I saw him asking in chat about your thoughts on O's Final Form.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I feel like either answer is correct. The bigger question is how you determine it based off of the show.
That can go many different ways depending on how you want to interpret that, which is why I say final forms are interpretable. This is not set in stone. The only people who have a set in stone, this is the final form, is Toei, and that's fine. You can have your own interpretation.
I mean, I feel like for other shows, it is pretty much what they say.
Yeah.
Like, there's usually not another choice that works, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Much like here. Mugen kind of has to be, even though Grateful feels like it probably should have been instead.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it now. Mugen's transformation noise is kind of lackluster.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, I almost feel like the reason for Mugen's existence kind of just comes out of left field.
Yeah, there's...
I mean, Grateful fits with what the show was doing.
Yeah.
To be fair, it would almost be like taking Extreme for double and just kind of randomly shoehorning that in as something that had nothing to do with the rest of the show. Like, yeah. That's how Mugen feels. It's like, yes, it truly is a final form, but it's so shoehorned in that it don't fit. Granted, I also kind of wonder if the reason for Grateful not being the final form for Ghost might boil down to its own belt.
Yeah.
Whereas in post-show material, they like doing base form, final form. So that would be a little bit more of a task to change drivers too.
That does not stop Sakamoto.
Oh, I'm not saying it would, but it would be one of those that I could foresee them being like, the final forms we use need to use the base driver to some capacity so that we don't have to keep switching everything around.
Yeah. Unless you're Baron, and then you're like, fuck that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I ripped the damn belt off and I put the other one on without blinking.
But come to think about it, I don't think in post-game material do we ever actually see him use the lemon energy?
No, because he's dead. So
that has not stopped them.
I know. Honestly, he's only ever used banana. We don't really see him ever form change post-series.
I have to wonder if that's because of that same situation there.
Yeah, doesn't even use mango.
I have to feel like that's that same situation. It's a case of, because his technical final form uses a different driver, they kind of just dismiss it.
Yeah. Which is hilarious, because the movie I'm thinking of, fucking Ryugen uses Kiwi. You know, that one form he has.
That is, like, barely used.
Yeah, and it's barely used in the movie, too. Yeah. But he still uses it, which is one more form than he gets to use than Baron does in the movie.
Uh-huh.
Hell, Zangetsu gets to use both of his forms.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess I understand why Mugen has to exist as far as in Toei's eyes. But it also feels like it's super out of left field and unneeded.
Yep.
Granted, I guess technically the same thing can be said about the Ganmizers.
Yeah. Don't you love them? Don't you love fucking computer villains with no personality?
You know, to be fair, I feel like they're worse than the more recent two long-lasting villains. Because at least they had personality.
Yeah.
It wasn't just learning, destroying, getting destroyed.
Yeah, they do a lot of jobbing, which is one of those. I don't understand the power of the Genmizers, considering they get jobbed out pretty hard when the plot needs them to be jobbed out pretty hard.
Yeah, because, like, out of this batch of episodes, we've had 3 get destroyed, question mark?
Yes. Yes, everything that I just said. I'm gonna say yes because I believe so. I might be wrong. I think they get revived later because fuck you, Mugen is pointless.
Well, we do know that I guess they can create duplicates of others. Because like that,
yeah.
The 2 that were originally destroyed after Mugen didn't technically come back in their panels, but they did reappear. So it's one of those, I guess they can make duplicates?
Yeah.
Which, to that, I'm gonna say, why can't we just, let them go ahead and come on back if we're gonna technically just have them come back?
Especially when we only have I think 4 or 5 suits for the Genmisers that have to last the rest of the series. Besides Adele's monster form. Bear in mind, there are 15 Genmisers, and I just said only 5 of them have actual monster suits.
I feel like someone's brainchild here forgot that they had limited funding. And yeah. Let's spend all of that early on.
Yeah, there are 5 with suits. There are 5 that are just orbs. And then 5 of them that are just weapons.
I don't even.
Yeah.
And what's bad is I think throughout at least this batch, I might have also been watching like the episode previews, because I feel like I knew about some of this stuff, but I didn't watch the actual episodes. Because I know I didn't watch Mugen.
Probably. I can honestly say that I don't feel like I missed anything. No, you didn't. So since we've more or less covered how we're feeling going in, which is
like I was half expecting this to be a train wreck and a half. Wow.
Look, there's a reason people kind of shit on Ghost. Like,
I mean, it kind of deserves it.
Yeah, I was about to say, look, Ghost has its fair share of problems. More so than most other shows in Phase 2. So, yeah. But we might as well get into the recap and showcase why we're and why we say debuts with Mugen.
Yep.
So we're going to kick things off with episode 33, Miracle Infinite Thoughts. So everyone regroups back at the temple from the last episode, because it was apparently a secret 3-parter, I believe. Also, Mugen. If we say Mugen enough times, it will feel like Mugen is not shoehorned into the show, even though he is.
Yep.
But before everyone can go and rest at the temple, 2 of the Genmisers just show up at the quarry that's next door to the temple. And everyone but Onari and Kanon go to the quarry to fight. Only 3 of you make sense for this.
Also, the quarry near the temple is totally not the same quarry that is near like everything else.
I thought you were about to say it's not the same quarry we've seen before, and I'm like, you've been keeping track of that? Because I have not.
No, I'm pretty positive it's the same one, just at different angles every time, kind of deal. I am almost positive it's that, because I feel like they've used the same one repeatedly.
Probably.
I just had to make that joke, because it's like, yeah. Just because it looks the same does not mean it's in the same location. There's a
Yep.
bunch of them, apparently.
Yep. So the one Genmiser we've been dealing with, Fire, is back. And he has his friend, Black Hole Genma, back. Is that his proper name? No.
So
I
fire
don't care.
And a vault. Got it.
Yes. So since they're here to kill the riders transform to fight him, and they are summarily decimated in this because it is your time to job now. You're doing the job, whether you like it or not, even if it doesn't make sense for one of you to be struggling in this fight. Spectre, why are you struggling? What is your problem? Why did you go into Deep Spectre and then immediately dropped out of Deep Spectre?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everyone kind of gets decimated in this, except Alan, who's the only one to not be decimated. So he gets to fight the Fire Gemma for a little bit, and then tries to self-destruct on him because apparently that was the thing he was going to pull before, when he had just an icon body. But now that he's flesh and blood, that would kill him. So Takaru says, "No, you don't get to die today. It is not your day to die. It is my day to die." God damn it. Because Takaru pulls him away, manages to blow up the fire one, but the black hole one's still standing, and it sucks up all of the icons, including boost. So Takaru has none of his powers except Ore.
Which he doesn't get to use.
Nope, because he is blown up before you can even transform, shattering the Ore icon into 7 pieces, I believe.
I believe you're exactly right on that.
Yeah, because there's 7 attacks in the Mugen icon, so it has to be 7. And thus Takaru fades away, meaning he is dead again. For super realsies this time. Ding. It won't be the last time I ding in this goddamn series.
Does
Tune
he
in
die
3
7
weeks.
times?
No, he only dies 5 times.
They missed their shot.
No, he dies.
Wait,
dies.
that means we still got 2 more.
Yes. What's bad is you've already seen one of them. Ghost X8. He technically dies in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clinically dead in that movie at the end. But no, we have one more death to count besides that one.
Oh, okay.
I
I thought we were fixing to have 2 more in the show. I was about to go, what?
No, he does not die anymore in the series.
The solo
Keyword
movie.
being, yep, he dies in the solo movie for at least a week that time in dialogue at the end of the movie, and he's brought back because Darwin said, "Fuck you, you're back." If you want context, tune in 3 weeks when we cover that movie. But back to the episode. Now Makoto goes Deep Spectre and he blows up the black hole by kicking it hard enough. So it's back at respawn with fire now. So now that everything has calmed down, the team regroups under the temple at the basement as they try to focus on the job of getting rid of the Genmisers because, as Yurisen says, Takaru's dead for realsies this time. We swear. We won't kill him again. We promise. We can't promise that, but God damn it. You know what's worse?
What?
3 of Takaru's 4 major forms he got because he died.
Yeah.
He got Ore because he died. He got Boost because he died, and now he's got Mugen because he died. The only thing he didn't die to get was Grateful.
But in a roundabout way, he technically did, because if he didn't get Boost, he wouldn't have had Grateful.
I know.
So...
Takaru, this is not a roguelike where you just You failed to succeed. That's not how this works. You're not supposed to keep dying to get your upgrades.
I mean,
God damn it.
To be fair, I guess technically he hasn't died to get every form change that he has.
No, that's why I said major form changes. The ones that are not heroic icons.
Oh, I don't even count them.
Yeah.
Because that's like lateral change. That doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I'm more meaning like movie exclusive ones.
Yeah, no, he doesn't die for any of his movie ones.
Which is honestly amazing.
Yeah.
He dies for everything else.
So yeah, with our team, Kairi's off to research and try to find a way to get rid of the Genmisers / bring Takaru back again. Makoto and Alan are going to go blow up portals because there's still portals left because we haven't blown up all of them.
And they need to blow off steam.
Yep. And everyone else is just going to do stuff.
Various cleaning / looking at picture.
More or less. So they try to be happy, but they're all sad and they all cry because Takaru's gone for realsies this time. We swear. And we even see that Takaru is off in the void, slowly fading away. Very, very slowly fading away. It's going to take the other half of this episode for him to maybe almost all fade away, but no.
And I'm sorry, the fact that Sage / Magistrate kind of decides to just stick around kind of tells me he knows something better.
Oh my god. Him trying to like make this seem like this was a destined thing just makes me go, I want to throttle you, you fuck! Fuck off, you're not helping! Also doesn't help that what happens next episode.
Yeah.
We also see that Grandma's granddaughter has taken over the stand because somebody's got to feed Alan's addiction. And he can't get it from anywhere else because that would require us to establish not only another character, but a location, so fuck that. Granddaughter's working the stand because... meh. But after this, we head back to the temple, and the team apparently has a plan for dealing with the Genmisers, and they start their preparations for it, which I like that Makoto and Alan go to a portal to practice, Akari does research, and then the other four try to get the various gadgets to cooperate with them. Why? That's... How is that going to help?
Distraction? Question mark?
Right, but like, Canon has Makoto's phone. His actual phone.
Uh-huh.
Why? Does Makoto need that to be in contact with people, or does he have a separate phone, like Gentaro does?
I kind of just want to say that.
Also, why wouldn't the phone work with Canon?
Maybe because she was an icon the whole time that he presumably had the phone.
Also, why wouldn't they work with him before? They worked with Onari like several dozen episodes ago at this point. When they went... God damn. The scene is dumb and I hate it.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I didn't mark it, and it was just like, oh, that happened. Moving on. So the next day, everyone heads to the quarry where the portal is, and they start their preparations. And before that, they all get a piece of ore in their hand, which I feel like is a bad idea.
I mean, what could go wrong?
I mean, did they not realize if they squeeze that hard enough, they're going to cut themselves? Because those are some sharp shards of ore. that they have.
It'll be fine.
So they do their plan, which is our two riders bait out the Genmiser, and then they throw all of the gadgets at him and distract it long enough for Akari to shoot the portal with with like some new powder made from the timepiece from a couple weeks ago, or from a couple episodes ago, to make the portal go somewhere else. They don't know where else, just elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then they proceed to kick the Genmiser into the portal, and before he can pull Makoto into it, Alan keeps him from going in because he has water rope powers now that I'm pretty sure he didn't have before, but fuck it, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. Like, okay. Question. Oh, wait, no. No, it's because they don't have it. I was gonna say, why didn't he just use, the icon that he's supposed to have? But that's right, kind of gone at the moment.
Yeah, he doesn't have Grim because it's currently in a black hole, which they just writer kicked all of the icons into a black hole, or in the black hole into oblivion, so
yeah.
I hope they thought that one through.
Nope.
But yeah, it looks to have succeeded. The Genmiser's in another dimension, and someone else's problems, probably. And it succeeds for exactly 5 seconds before the Genmiser literally blows through reality, and it's like, fuck you all! You're all taking a flip because I threw an explosion at you. So this is when everyone is down and out, and our two remaining riders are also untransformed because the explosion was hard enough for that to happen. And everyone starts believing in Takaru hard enough, and Akari has a memory about him. And then Takaru starts having memory all these people I have connections to, including one person from the spinoffs that we haven't watched yet that I'm pretty sure she's from. Because I paused the scene for a second to be like, wait, who's this girl? Isn't she from the Heisei Rider spinoff thing? Because she was the only person I didn't recognize.
Welp. That would sound about right.
Yeah. But more or less, everyone believes in Takaru hard enough to make the Ore icon reforge itself, reviving Takaru. And because he got revived, he gets a new icon that just pops out of his chest, which is Mugen. By the way, that happens a lot, even though the next episode will establish it as just an actual thing that's just in his pocket.
To then reestablish as a thing that is created.
Yes.
They did screw that up.
Yep. So with new icon in hand, Takaru goes Mugen in silhouette form because the suit's not ready. And he proceeds to blow up both Genmisers for real because he slashes both of their tablets in half. And we don't see them respawn, so they're gone for good. For now. I'm pretty sure it's for now, unfortunately. Also, because he blew them both up, he got all his stuff back.
Because that's how black holes work.
Exactly. Also, hi Glock. We're talking about the first episode of Ghost. We're talking this week. So since it'd be weird to stop and talk halfway through, how'd you feel about this standalone episode of Ghost?
Why was it a standalone? They spread out everything else to two-parters. Why was this a standalone?
I honestly have no idea. I honestly the end of the halfway through the episode when Takaru dies, I feel like, oh, that's the end of an episode, right? Wait, what do you mean we're only a quarter away into the episode? What do you mean we're not done?
Yeah,
what do you mean we're still going?
That the big finale for the episode.
Yeah. Ghost.
Because I almost felt like even the preview from the episode before kind of drummed that up as, this big climatic, it's gonna be at the end of this episode kind of deal. Nope. Nope. Within the first 5 minutes, he's dead. It's like,
The best way that sum that up is, so
it's better than Geo.
Yes, which we despise. ZI-O. It's this last season of Rider.
Basically, decade 0.5 kind of deal. Because
yes.
I feel like decade's better.
Yeah. But yeah, Geo is not a particularly good series. So that is why we're watching Ghost, because both of us stopped watching Ghost at a certain point when it was airing live, and we wanted to give it a second chance. And wow, we weren't wrong in stopping to watch it. To be honest, even though we're in the part that you didn't watch and I kept watching.
Yeah.
And I am extremely like, wow, I should have stopped sooner. To be honest. At 33 episodes of 50. So yeah,
I think you watched 34 though.
I know I watched past this. I know I did.
I know you at least watched 34 because I know you showed me the debut for it.
Yeah. I watched past this because I remember stuff past this. But I don't know when I stopped.
I'm sure you'll find out really quick.
Yeah. So shall we talk about the proper two-parter that we get to talk about this week?
I guess so.
All right, we kick it off with episode 34, Empty World of Dreams. We're off the Dreamland this week because apparently Igor is testing out a wristband that connects people's dreams together and traps them within it by giving them their biggest desires. We got questions about that later. I got questions about that later. Especially of the episode after these two. Because there's
reason I said earlier about I think I watched previews is because I remember bits and pieces of this one, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those that I feel like this might have been one of those that I was like, I'll see if I can watch the whole debut for Mugen, and I don't think I ever did. I think the previews was the closest I got to it.
So right now there are several people trapped in this, including one important person that we are totally saving, and he is important, and we don't acknowledge the other people at all.
Because they just magically come out of this for some reason.
Even though we don't see it on screen.
And have absolutely no confirmation of it.
Yep.
Even though we see more than just this one person in this.
Yep. And our team, and the team sees, yeah. Anyway, we catch up with the team in the basement, trying to piece things together with Takaru's arrival in Mugen and whether or not this ends the countdown. And Garrison comes in to say, no, it doesn't. You still need to revive in 36 days. Or you're gone for good. For sure. We swear.
That's the only thing Garrison knows.
I love to know how they know. Like, how do you know?
Well, like Sage, if he came off with something like that, fine, because he's holding the information back. Garrison legitimately doesn't know anything. How?
Right, but Sage doesn't.
How?
But my problem is no one explains how. I'm like, but as Sage will explain this episode, Takaru's father's soul is fused with his, and he's got like all the icons on his side and all this. And oh look, two of the fucking tablets are gone. Does that mean he can make his wish now? Do we need all 15 of them gone to make the wish? I mean, Takaru came back through sheer force of will. Who's to say he can say, fuck it, I'm a ghost forever?
I mean, yeah. And I mean, quite frankly, I almost feel like the basis of Mugen ought to just be his I'm done with this countdown.
Yeah, because Yurison's just like, countdown, all 2 episodes. And I'm like, shut up, you little piece of shit. Fuck off, we have got more important things to do than this stupid framing device that doesn't even matter anymore. It is the least important thing in this show. The literal least important thing.
Truthfully past Boost, but definitely past Grateful. Like this count should not just exist.
Mm-hmm. So as our team is discussing this, Sage actually shows up and answers Takaru's call, and he is there more or less to recap information. Also, Makoto and Alan totally recognize him as not Sage and call him out as not Sage, and he plays it off as like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not him. Totally. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Why does no one call him out?
Also, I love the fact that he makes a comment later and Makoto's like, wait a minute, where have I heard this before? And it's like, yes, call him out, please.
Literally, Makoto, you have been given a thing by him. Literally show him a thing and go, do you recognize this? And see his reaction of just like, God damn it. So yeah, he more or less recaps it. And more or less just goes, no, Takaru, you still have to wish your ass back to life. Because we got to fill that 99-day quota. So that still exists. And he keeps calling him like the miracle child for some stupid reason. And I just like, I'm not listening anymore. You're just throwing out words to make this sound like you were planning this and you weren't. Shut up.
Yep.
You are building to something that does not exist. Meanwhile, Adele is off trying to get his own information from the rest of the tablets since, 2 of them blown up, and he's just like, I thought you weren't indestructible. And they're like, we did too, but now we're not. So we're going to go research this. Bye.
Yeah, I love that Mugen has effectively completely just screwed everyone up.
Yep. So with all of this info dump out of the way, one of Akari's professors drops by because he needs help getting his brother back from La La Land from earlier, because that's the plot of these 2 episodes. And as we find out, these are these random bracelets that will just dump you into a dream world with everyone connected. And it gives you your greatest desire. Put a pin in that idea of bracelets connecting people. It's gonna hurt later. It's gonna really hurt.
Be repeated.
Both, probably. I'd say both.
Oh, I can at least say the second one, the repeated, is a definite.
Yeah.
Because, as we find out in the last episode of this batch, they kind of make it blatant.
Yeah. And I'm annoyed that the team doesn't realize. It's like, wait a minute. Deep Connect just came up with these bracelets and this thing, and we were dealing with this thing, and wait a minute! God, that's why I said it was going to hurt, because I'm like, oh my God, are you so stupid to not realize that these bracelets are the exact same thing? Anywho, this is where Grimm decides to chime in, and he possesses the professor to be happy and fun and whatnot, because that's the theme of the 2 episodes, is fun. And what is fun? Because apparently that's a foreign concept to Takaru. I wish I was joking. But anywho, the team heads off. They find the people, and everyone in the group decides to head in, but Arnari, to investigate, because it's a good idea to have Arnari be the one person outside guarding everyone's body, because he can totally take care of problems, right?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, yeah. Because, you know, he can totally transform into a rider and take care of any Gamma that decide to come.
Yep.
Chalk
So when
that
everyone
up
heads
to another instance where everyone does not think anything through.
Yeah. So everyone heads in, and apparently Takaru, since he doesn't have an actual body, he just puts on the bracelet and then poofs, and the bracelet just drops to the ground, which makes me go, so if someone else puts on that bracelet, does that kick him out, or does he just stay in?
Yes.
So Takaru is fine, because apparently he doesn't get whammied by the being shown your greatest desire thing, but everyone else does. So Akari's in a lab. Alan is munching down on takoyaki for days and wearing the same hat that Akiko wears in Double. Don't think I didn't notice that show. And the professor is being given an award, and Makoto is surrounded by dozens of Canon in various forms of cosplay. I have no idea why that happened, and no one addresses it later.
I have no idea why that happened, and I have no idea why he was that happy over that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a reason why that wasn't addressed later.
Yeah, because it's really random and weird, and what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
So after this happened, Takaru wakes everybody up just by yelling at them. So we got shit to do, and we need to go do it. So they end up finding the brother, and only the brother is who they care about, even though there's like 5 other people who are here. And they actually went to sleep next to their bodies, so they super know that these people are here. But they're more or less ignored.
Like completely, because even when everyone wakes back up, I don't think the bodies are still there.
Fuck, I forgot to check for that. Oh well.
I didn't think to either, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember seeing them there. So I bet they're not.
But anyway, Genma show up before they can talk to him. So Takaru is the only one who can fight him, because apparently his gear works in the dream world, and Makoto and Alan's don't, because they need to be in a separate fight scenes this week.
Plot convenience?
More or less. So he dispatches them quickly with Boost in Boost Benkei, because we can't show off Mugen yet. And our brothers get reunited, but they're arguing because one of them more or less needed a vacation and needed time off, and the other one was just like, no, you don't. This is where Grimm chimes in and doesn't help when he possesses possesses the main professor, not the brother. And this makes Takaru remember something, and he starts glowing, which is going to be a thing I remember happening for a lot of the series. Don't ask me why he's glowing. He just glows. But at this point, Grimm too, because remember, Grimm is the Grimm brothers, so there's technically two people in the icon, chimes in and tells Grimm 1 to knock it off, and they proceed to argue back and forth long enough that they pop out of the brother, and then pull Takaru inside of the icon, and then kick him out when he tries to get them to stop arguing. Why did you bring him in to start with then?
Which I love at the end of that whole thing there, Takaru's like, well, that's never happened before.
Well, it doesn't help that Grimm's the only one with multiple people inside the icon.
I feel like, though, it was one of those concepts of he didn't expect he could literally just be shoved out of the icon like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, typically when he's went into the icons, it's to get the final seal of approval of, you've connected with me.
Yep. On the outside, Inari does shenanigans with Alan's body with a marker because Inari is fucking 12, I guess, and bored.
Yep.
But he then gets attacked, leading to Alan and Makoto having to leave to go help. And they take them out. And I guess this is here because they need to show off the finishers for Makoto's not... I can't even think of the name of it. His not boost gun sword thing.
Oh,
Sunglass Slasher. Yeah, his not Sunglass Slasher, whatever the fuck it's actually supposed to be called. Because I think this is the first time we've actually seen the finishers for it. The proper finishers for it, mind you. So yeah, that happens, and the rest of them try to look for the brother. But Eeyore drops by to say, by the way, you got a day to get everyone out of here or they're stuck in here forever, because that's how the bracelets work, I guess. So Takaru goes Grateful, and he tries to fight off the Genma that show up, but since Grimm are not cooperating, that makes Grateful not work. But the good news is, we get the best part of the episode, with Edison!
Yes, I love those.
With Edison going, while shooting a gun at a Genma, going, Edison? I'm Edison! I'm Edison! I'm Edison?
Edison?
No, I'm Edison! Edison is fantastic and wonderful, and that is why when Soto does Ghost, I want the blank bodies just to have an Edison, just to be there. Because Edison is probably the best heroic icon of the goddamn series.
Yep. When I saw that, I was like, I love that.
Mm-hmm. So, Takaru gets knocked out of Grateful, because, of course, he does after this. And after he got knocked out, this lets Igor take the Grimm icon and Akari and the brother hostage. So, that's a problem. And to compound this, the new Gem Miser, Water, shows up, making Takaru go Mugen, and we end the episode there. Which takes us to episode 35, Real Worth, Merriment Power. Takaru ends up saving the two of them before he pretty much no-sells the Genmiser and just blows up the Genma. Because Mugen's entire power set is he no-sells everything. That's it. That's Mugen's power.
Yep.
It's Muteki, except boring.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Takaru and so the brothers run off. Akari and the professor try to run after him. The professor gets his foot injured, so he backs out with Takaru while Akari goes after the brother. And once they're out, we see that Alan got his revenge by doing shenanigans with Onari's face, because that's just how their relationship is, I guess. Anyway, Igor shows up to be like, hey, by the way, I'm taking 2 of them and running. Bye. Because this episode needs to keep going. For no reason. Literally, we could have solved this episode by now, but no, it has to keep going. Ugh. So back over to Dell. The Genmeiser, the water Genmeiser more or less goes, Mugen cannot be quantified. So we have no progress. Bye. How can you not quantify it? What do you mean? Sir, I think you're just making up bullshit. But anywho, Akari finally tracks down the brother and finds out, more or less, he just wants to have fun with his job because it's science. Why would you not want to have fun with your job when it's science? But the professor doesn't like that because he's all serious and stuff. You can see how this is going to resolve itself, more or less. And that's when the team finally gets called by Igor and told, like, go here, please, so the plot can continue. I love how the team doesn't find them. Igor just calls us, like, oh, by the way, they're here. Come fight me. So Takaru, Inari, and the professor head in once they reach there. And Makoto and Alan, being the smarter this time, decide to stay out and keep watch. And we see Igor head in after he equips Grim to make things harder for them, because I guess Grim are willing to cooperate with him for now. I'm not sure how that works. But inside, he sends them to not Helheim because they decide to reuse all the plants and stuff for Helheim for this scene for some reason. Did you notice? Tommy, you there? Hello? Hello? Did Discord break?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought Discord broke for a second.
Nope, my bad.
Okay. Did you notice that they decided to reuse the Helheim plants for this fairy tale nonsense chase scene?
Yes and no.
Okay. So yeah, this happened, and that forces our team to cosplay as various fairy tale characters, mostly of the opposite gender, because that's funny. Just in of itself. No other joke, really. Granted, Onari, I think, makes the most of it by constantly having problems with the long-ass wig they gave him. So, Kamen's shenanigans as they're being chased around by Genma and Takaru having to fight them off without transforming, mind you, because that would mean he could actually stop them. And this is when we see the Genmeiser head off to go kill somebody because they're bored. And they all head off this time, instead of just like 2 of them. In the real world, we see Makoto and Alan deal with the Genmeisers fairly quickly, because that's not the main point of the plot for them for this week. And back inside, everyone gets reunited. Takaru uses emotion wisdom because now that he has Mugen, he now has emotion wisdom instead of monk wisdom. Don't ask me why he has that. He just does. But he uses that, and Arkari, like, talking about how they've inspired her, more or less gets them the makeup. So that plot's done for the week. But Igor shows up, and Takaru fights him in Mugen and chops him out clean because it's Mugen. Igor, you're not winning against him. But he then gets Grim back, so that's solved. Oh, and also the Grimm brothers make up, and they're back to being one person instead of two. So that's solved. More or less, everything's kind of being swept up real quick, because the last 5 minutes of this episode is going to be dedicated to Mugen. Back outside, we see Alan and Makoto having to fight off the Genmisers, and it's not going well for them because they're getting their asses handed to them. And they're almost killed until Takaru shows up and just kind of teleports in and pulls them away from an explosion. And then he goes Mugen and blows up the water Genmiser, and it's water clone of the fire Genmiser, and the day is more or less saved, and they celebrate at a science fair for kids. Also, Takaru glows some more at the end. So how'd you feel about this two-parter that properly introduces Mugen?
It was a two-parter.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Like, I kind of like Mugen's design, but it is kind of boring in fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does a lot of standing around and not punching things until it does a finisher, and then it just does a finisher and we're done. Which feels like the culmination of every single Ghost fight scene so far in the series that isn't attached to Koichi Sakamoto.
Very true.
Ugh. But yeah,
I almost feel like this two-parter and 33 should have been together.
Yeah. I feel like we have like one extra episode more than we needed to deal with Mugen. Or with Mugen's introduction. It should have been 2, and then we just moved on to the idol plot for this next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now shall we hit the last episode?
I guess so.
Alright. We're going to end it with episode 36, Furious Idol Declaration. We start with the team trying to fight the next Genmiser, which is Wind. And Alan is apparently not strong enough because, he didn't get a form change recently, so he's not good. By the way, this episode is directed by Koichi Sakamoto. Most of this episode is not action, unfortunately. But Alan getting his ass handed to him by the Genmiser causes the team to retreat, so they don't get to blow up the Genmiser. Even though Takaru got a shot in with Mugen, and it didn't phase it, so I guess Mugen's now depowered from where it was before, where it could just more or less one-shot Genmiser. Oops. Adele gets an update on this, and he tells the Genmisers to observe for now, because they got a plan in place, and he wants to see it through, and not to have them interrupt it. So we cut to a concert, where Arkari is being briefed by Deep Connect's boss on a new wristband that connects the band and the audience, and it connects emotions and stuff. And by the way, this is totally the same wristband from last 2 episodes, and nobody on the team realizes it until, I want to say never. God damn it. Because yes, this is a Gamma plot. We see Igor invisible watching over. But after the group performs, they head backstage, and their leader, Hanami, wants them to focus on their big dream, since this was the first step. And her group agrees, only to then kind of badmouth her in their heads, and she can hear it, and she ends up running off. And then she hears Igor talking about the plan, and she thinks he's going a bit mad. And out of curiosity, do you recognize this actor or this actress?
I feel like I should, but I can't place right offhand.
It's Koyomi.
Ah. That makes
This
sense.
is, yeah. As soon as I heard her talk, I was just like, "Is this Koyomi?" And I checked the credits. Yep. And one of the other group members is Rand from Force A. Probably not the easier of the two spots, but when I was checking credits, I saw Rand was one of them. I was like, "Oh, hey, 2/4 of this group is alumni." But back in the episode, we're over to the team because Kanon got hired by the granddaughter to help out at the takoyaki stand. So she's helping while we see that Alan is down in the dumps because he can't help because he doesn't have enough power. And in the previous fight scene, he tried to use Sanzo, but Sanzo didn't want him to be used, so he said no. So guess who gets to possess people this week? So at this point, Hanami, who is nearby, hears Alan's voice in her head and tells him to just, I don't know, stop talking to me. And this prompts Takaru to more or less get a memory of the previous scene and bring her to the temple to help. And as Hanami is explaining everything, they figure Igor is behind this. So they're going to go off to investigate this. But before they do so, Sanzo possesses the Hanami real quick to more or less send Alan off to special training to get him to be better. Which the special training is, go into the quarry next door, more or less. I think. I'm assuming it's the quarry next door.
It's either the quarry next door or the quarry in an alternate world.
Probably. So our team's off to investigate, while Alan's off with his special training, which is more or less, hey, do you remember that one time those 3 weird suits popped out to help Sanzo? Or help Necrom when he was Sanzo once? Yeah, they're here to kick Alan's ass repeatedly over and over again until he wins. Quite literally in this case, because I think they literally kick him in the ass at one point.
I think you're right.
Yep. But back in the real world, Hanami talks to Takaru about her dream of performing on the biggest stage of them all for idols, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently I guess it's the thing. But she feels like she's the only one who wants that, and her friends, who are the other members of the group, aren't as serious about it as she is. And Takaru more or less tries to solve this episode solve this plot in one episode by just telling her, go talk to your friends about this. Be a normal person. Meanwhile, Akari has the brilliant idea of she's going to go undercover in a competition to investigate this from that end. Who told her this was a good idea? Who? Who told you this was a good idea? But meanwhile, Adele sends off Makoto out to cause problems. Yes, folks, there is a clone of Makoto now. Where does he come from? Tune into the Spectre V cinema for that one, because I think that's the only place it gets explained.
Really?
I think. I don't remember. I know that's where they deal with it properly, but I don't know if they ever explain it in series. I think in series it ends up being something Deep Spectre icon. But anywho, Kanon ends up spotting Makoto, but loses him later, or not long after. So Kanon is now aware of Makoto. But back over to Takaru, he's with Hanami, who tries to explain how she's feeling to her friends. But all of their voices kind of like force her to just run away. Which, why does no one think to take the damn bracelet off her arm? Because she's been wearing the bracelet since the goddamn concert. She's currently still wearing the bracelet. Has anyone thought that maybe that's the problem?
Nah, that's not the problem.
Even though one of them knows exactly what the fuck this bracelet does.
Yep.
In general. God damn it. Anyway, so she runs off. Takaru tries to help, but it fails, so she keeps running, and Takaru's chasing after her. Meanwhile, Kanon heads back to the temple, finds normal Makoto drinking coffee or something with the other two monks, and she's just like, "Why are you here? I thought you saw you earlier." And he's just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So we more or less get informed and get foreshadowed about, oh, if you meet your doppelganger, the real one dies. Guess what happens to Makoto later in the series? By the way, not joking. So now that he's been informed about this, Makoto heads out to go find his doppelganger. Meanwhile, back with Alan in his special training, he tried to get some takoyaki that just shows up on one of the rocks, but the goons just stop him, play keep away with him, and kick his ass some more, because that's all the special training Alan gets this episode, is his ass handed to him. Checking in with Akari. She flunks her audition because she's terrible at singing. Because of course she does. Because this was a good idea. Catching up with Takaru, he finds Hanami, but has to end up protecting her from a Genma. And this is when Makoto drops in and just kicks the Genma out of the air, so the two of them can fight it properly. And they do so, fighting it and a bunch of goons it summoned. And then we then find out that Hanami apparently has the ability to hear voices. That's just a thing she can do now. That's not the bracelet. Maybe. We'll find out in 2 weeks. I don't remember. But yeah, this more or less kind of sends her over the edge, and she kind of runs away after this. But Takaru and Makoto end up taking out the Genma and the goons and stuff. Except Makoto spots Makoto and chases after him. And we see that Alan is also at his limit. And we end the episode with Akari actually getting the audition. Because of course she does. She totally doesn't have someone telling them. It's like, yeah, please pass her. And that's the episode. How'd you feel about half the two-parter that we don't get to see the rest of for 2 weeks? Hello? Are you there? Hello? You know, surprisingly enough, Discord has not broken on a Sunday for us by some miracle. And I'm surprised by this.
There ain't no telling how.
Yeah. But anyway, how'd you feel about this half of a two-parter?
Yeah. I felt like it's setting up stuff that apparently we're not gonna just touch.
Go me on planning on this one.
Yeah.
It's fine. I just don't like how much we're running around and not dealing with the plot for an entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all of our episodes this week. And when I say 2 weeks is because we're not back to Ghosts next week, technically. No, we get to watch Kamen Rider Ichigo next week. The movie, not the series. No. So in the Superhero Tyson's times,
because the series that's a project for another day.
yeah. But yeah, for the superhero time slot, instead of doing a big team up crossover movie, they decided to do a Kamen Rider Ichigo movie that guest stars the Ghost cast, more or less. And we're checking that out next week. Are you excited?
Not really, because of where this fit in time slot wise.
Very true, but I'm hoping it's of some tangible difference of quality from the series.
Hoping, yes. Will it be? Probably not.
Yeah. I know we get dense.
This also the same time slot that the Superhero Tyson movies are in?
Yep.
And that it's already sitting, fighting now, not one but two things.
Yeah. And we also get Discount Foundation X. Because, you know, why have Foundation X when you're going to have Shocker-themed Foundation X? I know, dumb, but...
Oh boy.
But that's next week, folks. And in 2 weeks, we'll come back and we'll find out what happens to Nakoyomi with her psychic powers. But until then, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. We really appreciate it. Chipping away at that follower goal at TG Saloon on Twitter. Get you updates on when we go live. An exclamation point Discord and chat gets you the Discord link. Drop by, say hi. We have a Dropbox for questions. We super need those questions. Like really badly. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. We probably need those to make TGS like not a half hour.
Yeah. 9 releases for the next TGS. 9.
Yeah. It's gonna be a rough couple months.
Yeah.
For several reasons. It's more Ace Attorney, more actually no, more Breath of the Wild, because I'm gonna go back and do some more shrine hunting, and some Wind Waker on Friday, and then whatever we have planned for Rampa Gaming on Saturday.
Either gonna be Fortnite or I forgot what the other one was that I said.
Raids.
Oh yeah, Sword and Shield raids. I literally drew a blank right there.
Fuck, when was the last time we actually did League? I don't remember.
I don't either.
I don't even know when was the last time I updated League.
Kind of the same boat.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe we might put that in the hat for next week, because we might need it.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, for Tommy, I'm Peace. Good night, everybody. We'll see you sometime this next week.